Welcome back, dear viewers. With us now here in the studio is Dr. Mohamed Shinnawy, the president of Al Galala University, the national non-profit research-oriented university in Suez. A very good evening to you, Dr. Shinnawy. Great to have you with us. It's an honor. Thank you.
It's a pleasure and honor to be with you and to talk about one of the, I would say, miracles that happen in Egypt, which is Galala University.
Very glad to have you with us, sir, and delighted and honored. Allow us first to watch a report about Al Galala University and then come back and start a discussion with Dr. Shinnawy about research and technological universities here in Egypt as an engine for growth. Please stay with us.
Egypt has established new technological universities across the country as part of the country's target to use technology in many industries. Technological universities have been established in many governorates, including Cairo, Gharbiya, Asyut, Luxor, 6 of October City, Alexandria, and East Port Said. These technological universities will contribute greatly to supply the internal and external labor market with all trained qualified graduates. The state seeks a comprehensive renaissance in all governorates, with university sites being mediated by many governorates, which ensures these universities will reach a high number of students. These universities will present many academic programs for industries such as metallurgy, wood engineering and electronics, electricity, spinning and weaving, food manufacturing, paper and paper products, printing and publishing, chemicals, building materials, ceramics, refractories, and mining. These are 18 general engineering and technology masters in Egypt. Egyptian universities are very competitive and provide a quality education environment which helps them earn places in the annual rankings of all universities worldwide.
Thank you very much, Abir Hussein and Rasha Abdul Hamid, for this report back here in the studio with Dr. Mohamed Shinnawy, the president of Al Galala University. Dr. Shinnawy, allow me to, before we talk about technological universities in Egypt, and I know that you also have a technological education, of course, in Al Galala, but I understand that it's a research-oriented university. First of all, could you differentiate to us, to our viewers, the main difference between technologically oriented or research-oriented universities?
Actually, this is different types of education, and this was very important to introduce to Egypt, because all we have was always a research-oriented universities, like our big universities like Cairo, Ain Shams, and Alexandria University. Added to them the new national universities, the international universities like Galala University, King Salman, and Alamein, and New Mansoura. And these universities are research-oriented. They have the normal pathway where you have your graduates working in engineering, medicine, dentistry, and other programs that we all are aware about. And you have the teaching way, you have the research, and then you have the graduate. And then the country found that it's very important that there is a missing between the engineers and the doctors and the manual workers. We have to have the technicians in between. That's why many countries have shifted towards what's called the applied sciences universities or the technological universities, where you are being 60% of your in the university are practical education, and 40% are only the theoretical education. More than 60% actually. Practical. And you can go to the university, you can stay for 2 years, and then graduate it with a diploma, and you go to the labor market and work, and then return back and have another 2 years and you get your bachelor degree. Or you continue the 4 years. And when you look at the programs that are in the technological university, like we have now in Egypt 10 technological universities. We started with 3 technological universities, as it showed in the report, in New Cairo, in Kwesna, and in Bani Suef. And then we added in Burj Al Arab, Gharbiya, and other governorate. We look at every governorate and we see what it is prominent in. Let's talk about Gharbiya, for instance, textile.
Right.
So we concentrated, Al-Mahalla, we concentrated on the textile engineering. Look at Kwesna. There are some specific things there that we are represent. In Bani Suef, there is a big factory there that's working in
Cement?
electronics. So we are working with this. In Luxor, it's touristic.
Right.
In Dimyata, it's about the furniture. So you start to see what are the needs. And we are not looking only at, but we start to look at the needs of each governorate, but at the same time, we graduate a graduate that's able to work within the local and the regional and the international market.
Fantastic.
It depends mainly on the practical work, the practical training, and the link between the education and the labor market. And actually also the university, the research universities, we can understand why it's called the technological university.
Right, and we can understand why it could be indeed an engine for growth.
Exactly.
Back to Al Galala University, your university now, it was established by a presidential decree in August 2020.
Yes.
And how many faculties you have now? The last I read was 13. So, I mean, update us on this, please.
We are very proud that in less than, in 2 years, actually 2 years now, we have 14 faculties, 37 programs, and more than 5,000 students in Galala University in different fields. Medicine, dentistry, pharmacy, engineering, computer science, business. And we didn't stop here, but actually we're one of the first to establish a real dual degree with one of the most prominent universities worldwide, which is Arizona State University. And we are proud that we are now having the highest ranked programs in Egypt, in engineering, in business, and in computer science. And I'm talking about the ranking worldwide, because Arizona State University is ranked one of the best 130 universities worldwide. And in business and engineering, they are one of the best 35 in the United States.
And so a student in Galala University automatically gets the dual degree or has to apply for a dual degree?
Automatically get the dual degree in the 5 programs.
Whether he goes to the Arizona or not? I mean, he can do it from Suez?
4+0.
Okay.
And he can earn his dual degree in marketing, in business information, in computer information system, in software engineering, and in electrical engineering. Those are the first 5 programs. This year, inshallah, we are going to add another 7 programs. By the end of, within 4 to 5 years, we will have between 40 to 45 programs in the dual degree between Galala University and Arizona. And once you enter to this pathway, you will have your Galala certificate and Arizona State certificate, exactly if you travel to the United States. If you want to travel...
You said 4+0, I mean it's only 4 years?
It means that you can have 4 years in Egypt and you'll be graduated with both degrees. I mean here, because it's credit hour.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask you about this because we always hear that, especially in engineering, it has to be 5 years to earn the card for the syndicate.
Actually, for the 4 years you will have, and you will have the degree from Arizona State, and you will continue the 5th year, and you will get both Galala and Arizona State University. And we are working with Arizona that the 5th year, for us, it will be a graduate as a Bachelor of Engineering from Galala, but it could be a part of a master's degree in Arizona, and this will be unique for Galala University.
Indeed. Dr. Shinnawy, a faculty of food and food industries caught my attention. Could you talk to us about the importance of such a faculty?
Actually, this is one of the faculties that we want to make people aware about, because this is one of the most important things. And in the morning, I was discussing this with the syndicate for the faculty and also with the industry of the food, because now this is a part, especially with the food security and the issues of the food security worldwide, the climate change, and Galala was very proud to be part of the COP27 and have our own booth during the COP27, that those graduates are very crucial for the food industry, for the hotels, for the hospitals. So, but still the students and the families are not aware about the importance. So we are trying to educate and to show how important. So we're asking some of the industries to offer us scholarships and to find a pathway for those students so that they are guaranteed a job once they are graduated. And that's why, inshallah, during March 2023, we're going to have the first job fair in Galala University.
Wonderful, and especially that food security now is a major concern. I mean, worldwide, due to climate change, due to the rise of commodity prices, the Russia-Ukraine war, and other factors. What about physical therapy? It's also this is a faculty that you have. And I guess it's a very, very important one, especially for sports people, I guess.
And highly demanding now.
Yeah.
So this year, all the demands were for the School of Medicine, Dentistry, and Physical Therapy. And what's very important about the physical therapy that is growing, showing a lot of interest from the students, and the career is very important and very attractive for many of them. And it has a lot of disciplines within. So this is very important faculty, and one of the things that Galala is one of the few in Egypt that has this faculty, and actually many of the other national universities are going to repeat the success story of the physical therapy, School of Physical Therapy in Galala. Important in physical therapy is the training.
Especially the sports space in Egypt has widened in the past few years. It's very evident that many young boys and girls are practicing different types of sport. They don't have to necessarily be professionals, but you know, even at the amateur level, the base for sport in Egypt has really expanded in the past years. And the science in this area, physical therapy, is really developing day in and day out. So that's why I guess it's a very important one with possibly a booming market.
And that's why we are not only stopping there, but we want to take the sports from all aspects. That's why we in Galala are considering to have a bachelor's degree in sports management. And with one of the big clubs in Egypt and outside of Egypt. And we're trying to finalize this as soon as possible. And once we finalize
do we know the name of the club?
We have two clubs in the biggest in Spain.
Okay.
I will not say until we have the final deal. And in Egypt, two also of the biggest clubs in Egypt, so that we finalize these deals, because sports, as you mentioned, sir, is growing, and it is a science. So now sports is a science. It's not only you're practicing sports, but there is sports management. There is a lot of facilities that need to be well managed, and how you invest in this. And also we're talking with another big sports club in Portugal. And we had a visit from Her Excellency, the ambassador of Portugal to Galala University. Actually, because the trainer of the Egyptian national football
Portuguese.
is a Portuguese.
Correct.
So this is one also of the areas that we are extremely interested in Galala University.
That's very good to hear. And I mean, when you mentioned, Dr. Shinnawy, that sports has become a science now, and sports management, and you say you intend to have a faculty for sports science in El Galala. We saw, for instance, because we have to mention this because it's just ended a few days ago and the vibes are still going, the way Qatar, that brotherly Arab nation, organized successfully, very successfully, the World Cup. That must have been great management and a great science. And the way we are seeing players now play until 35, 37, 39, 42, and 45, that's physical therapy, I guess, and that must be the science there. And again, from here, we have to say congratulations to Argentina and to Messi. You know, I mean, at this age and performing like he's a 22-year-old, it was beautiful to watch, really. So I guess physical therapies, sports management, yeah.
That's why we want to carry on this and to cope with the needs. And this is exactly what we are doing in Galala University. We are seeing what are the needs of the market, what are the needs of the labor market, what are the needs of the industry, and we want to graduate our graduates to adapt and to be exactly having all the talents needed and equip them so that they are ready for the labor market and for the needs of the industry. This is very crucial for us in Galala University.
In today's world, we hear a lot about AI, artificial intelligence, and you have also a faculty called Artificial Intelligence Engineering Program. Could you talk to us about that specific faculty?
This is also one of the important schools, and without the computer science, and actually one of the booming in the cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, software engineering, and you see how the students in Galala are marvelous, how they are having their own applications, And they entered into many hackathons, and they are winning, actually, very good prizes in this, and we are very proud of that. And we are trying to get for them, because we are always proud that we are one of the first fourth generation universities. And what's the meaning of fourth generation university? This means that we have all the equipments, all the infrastructure, and the applications, SIS, LMS, the up to date. It's not only about having them, but also applying and using them up to the optimum, so that we really generate the graduates that are able to cope with the growing, fast-growing technology worldwide. That's why we concentrated on the artificial intelligence, on the cybersecurity, on the software engineering, and we are extending also in this area. And there is very new programs that's in artificial intelligence. They are changing, I will not say daily, but actually every second.
And from the technological education that you give in Al-Galala, I want to move to the new fourth generation technological universities and their role in economic development and sustainable development. So research universities like yours is necessary, obviously, for economic sustainable development, and the examples are very evident. Can you please now talk to us about the new technological universities and the change they have made in the map of higher education in Egypt, and their potential role in, inshallah, sustainable development in Egypt?
Let's look at you mentioned, sir, about the map of the higher education in Egypt. 2014, Egypt has around 54 universities. Most of them, or all of them, were towards the research universities. And Egypt had its Egypt Vision 2030. And there are the SDGs, the 17 UN SDGs that we all know now and we are learning by heart. In this time, Egypt wants to make the change, and we put Egypt Vision 2030. One of the main things is the labor market and the needs of the labor market and how to improve this labor market. To cope with this, you have to start to see what are the needs. One of the main defects were the technicians and well-trained technicians. That's why in 2019 we had the law of 72, the law number 72 for year 2019, where we started to think as a Ministry of Higher Education that we need to introduce these new technological universities. We started to learn. We didn't invent the wheel. We learned from the applied sciences universities in Europe, and also a similar experience in the United States and the others in China and Japan. And then we started to bring these technologies into Egypt. We started with the 3 new technological universities, as I mentioned, and we started to choose the programs according to the needs. That's why we started the megatronics. One of the most important that I want to stress on is the medical prosthesis. And we are proud that we are one of the first in New Cairo and also in Galala to have this medical prosthesis specialty. Because Egypt is planning, and inshallah we will do that, to be one of the main hubs for the medical prosthesis in the Middle East and in Africa. That's why this is one of the important. The lab technicians is also one of the defects. The dentistry technicians, one of the defects also that we have. And you were talking about the sustainability, the renewable energy. This is one also of the areas. So if you look at the areas, you will find that these areas are important. Egypt is booming in. The transportation, there are the transportation technicians. You are having the fast train, you are improving your highways. You cannot have all of this without having the support. Not only the engineers, yes, we are working on transportation engineering, but also you have to have the technicians in the transportation area. That's why in these different, we are improving our textile engineering. So having those with new machines and the high technology in this, and you see what's happening in Mahalla and the revolution that's happening there as regards the textile. That's why introducing this new type of universities was very crucial. We started with 3. Last year, 2022, we opened 7. So now we reached 10.
All of this only since 2019?
Egypt, in less than 7 years, added to its system more than 50 universities.
Doubled
Doubled in 7 years. In as regards research universities, technological universities, national universities, the branch campuses, so private universities, the public universities. Actually, what's happening in Egypt in the higher education, we could consider this is one of the miracles that happened in this country.
Right, and the technological universities, I remember that we had been talking about this in Egypt for years.
Yes.
But we only started in 2019.
2019.
So and already we have 10.
Yes.
10 now technological universities.
And there are 17 in the pipeline.
17 in?
The pipeline. To be finished, so that in every governorate we will have a technological university.
Great.
Feeding the needs of each governorate according to the local industry in this governorate.
And when you mentioned that there are, of course, examples in Europe and the US or models that we could have benefited from, I guess that Germany would be one of the top models,
the applied science universities in Germany is one of the top notch, and that's why we are seeking a lot of international cooperation with our colleagues in Germany, and that's why we are opening a lot of channels with the technological university in Germany, and we hope that we will have very soon a signed memorandum of understanding with one of the technological universities or applied sciences university in Germany, with one of the technological universities in Egypt.
Dr. Shinnawy, what about the cost for studying in these universities, the technological universities? Is it affordable for most people?
If I told you it's between 10 to 12,000 per year, so I think it's very affordable with scholarships.
Of course, Egyptian pounds, of course.
Of course, not US dollars, but so 10,000 Egyptian pounds to 12,000 Egyptian pounds with scholarships. I think it's very affordable for many people, and we stress a lot on the scholarships because whatever you are paying in any of the universities, there are always 10%. For those who scored high grades, they will be offered scholarships. And this is not only in the technological universities, but all the national and the technological universities.
Right. If someone asked you, and definitely, as you mentioned, Egypt doubling its universities in the span of 7 years and a really great success in this area, but there must be still some hindrances, some obstacles, some challenges. So if somebody asks you, what's the biggest challenges that you face in higher education today, what would it be? Or some of the challenges that you face?
Some of the challenges that still our students are looking for I would say, going to be either a doctor or a physician, and even engineering, the numbers are decreasing. So we need to change the mentality of the students and the families. That's not only a physician. Yes, it's good to be a physician. Me, myself, is a physician. But it's important to see what are the talents of the student, what are the talents, what is his needs. Because I see many of my students, I didn't want to be a doctor, but my family pressured me to be a doctor. So these things is very important. We want to change. Also, we as professors, we need to change our ways of teaching. And that's what we are doing in all of our universities. That's why we're trying always to have a capacity development to cope with the new technologies, and at the same time to cope with the students, because those are the new generation. You cannot teach them in the old way that we were taught. We have to cope with this. We are always adapting our programs according to the needs of the market, bringing more of experts to be joining us. One of the most important things also that we have a lot of publications, but how we link these publications to the industry, to the labor market, to the needs, to the community, and have patencies. This is one of the things. Egypt now is ranked number 25 as regards the scientific publication. But when you look at the patencies coming out of these publications, the proportion is not right. It's less. So this is one of the things also, of the challenges. That's why with His Excellency Professor Ayman Ashur, the Minister of Higher Education, we just had the blueprint for the higher education in Egypt, and we had a lot of meetings and coordination with all our partners so that we move and overcome these challenges.
Right. Dr. Shinnawy, the development of the skills of the students and of the teaching staff must always be a priority for you people in higher education. Could you tell us about some of the things that you do in Al Galala, as far as the development of the skills go, when it comes to students or the teaching staff?
Actually, this is one of our priorities, and we always put this. Once you enter to Galala and you are accepted as a faculty on Galala, you have your own development courses. So we started to see what are the needs that you want, and you mentioned during your evaluation form, these are the courses and the areas that I would like to be developing. So we start to gather this, we analyze them, we start to have the special courses according to the needs, and we see how we can improve these areas. I have a defect in writing proposals or winning proposals, so we start to push you in this. I have a defect in dealing with the SIS or the LMS systems or the application in general, so we start to have this training for our faculty. Having the exchange and faculty exchange with different universities worldwide, trying to send some of our faculties to different universities, so we had many of our faculty traveling abroad. And at the same time, we start, before our students, once they enter, they have their admission exam. Once they enter, we start to having our advisors working with them. So we see what are the defects. And one of the important things in Galala is it's not only the curriculums that you are being taught, but we have what's called the university requirements. Through these university requirements, we have communication skills, we have research skills, we have research ethics. So through these university requirements, we improve the skills of our students.
Dr. Shinnawy, what about special or any advantages that you give to people with special abilities, those great people who are usually stronger than others?
We are proud to be the first in the national universities to have an office for special needs, and we put our curriculums accordingly, and we have 3 of our students who are special needs, and they are going very well in their pathway. And actually, the 3 of them got scholarships from NGOs in Egypt. And we are very proud, not only about that we are having special needs, but how our students are acting and dealing with those students with special needs, how they care about them, and how they give them all the care and support. And actually, this is building a new generation in Egypt, and we are aiming to expand, because we have those students with special needs, and we have for them a special interview to see exactly which fields are suitable for them. And we have like a shadow that's helping them. And the whole office is working to have this as a very successful story. And inshallah, by the end of this month, we'll have one of them present in one of the big events in Egypt.
Inshallah. Finally, Dr. Shinnawy, could you give us your vision about linking research-oriented universities like Al Galala or the new technological universities to the job market more efficiently, so that they could play a bigger role in economic and sustainable development?
This is one of the things we are mentioning nearly daily in Galala University. How we bring the industry, we bring the community, we ask them about their needs, what do you want from, and we do a lot of workshops and orient our professors and the program directors and the deans. These are the needs, and we adapt our programs and our training and our teaching, bringing professors of practice to our university, sending our students nearly daily to different fields. Those of the architecture, you always find them in the new capital. The medical, they have medical convoys and have their own training, and everyone in his specialty. And also bringing those professors of practice is very important. It's always dynamic. It's not only about having my program, this is my program, I'm going, no. We're always dynamic, changing our program according to the needs, linking them to the industry, linking them to the market. And one of the important things that, inshallah, none of our students will be graduated from Galala except if they have an internship in their specialty. That's why in March, inshallah, we will have a big fair, a job fair. Also, we created the in-campus jobs. So our students are working within the campus. They work in the gym. We have a new gym in Galala. They're working in the dorms. They're working in some of the administrative. They're working in the special need office. That's why we are linking them to the needs of the market and to the industry.
Great. On this note, dear viewers, on behalf of you, We thank very much Dr. Mohamed Shinnawy, the president of Al-Gilala University, national non-profit Egyptian university in the beautiful city of Suez. Thank you very much, and it's been an honor. Thank you, Dr. Shinnawy.
Pleasure and honor, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, very
Thank
much.
you.
And thank you, dear viewers, for watching this edition of Business Insider. Next week, same time, a new episode. Until then, this is Mohamed Abdelrahim, and this is goodbye.